And you say, I don't always feel like that. Well, there's lots of reasons why, but I think there's two main reasons why we might not feel like this power is on us, and maybe we're not accessing this power that is towards us on a daily basis. And this goes back to, in my mind, we went on a hike a while back. We went to Arches National Park, and we did a hike through some of the arches, and there's big stairs that you go up through some of these things, and then there's climbing and stuff too. And our two sons are definitely opposite, and they approached the hike in two different negative ways. They had some good parts, but some of the negative ways. First one was our oldest son, and he would set his mind to, okay, I need to get here. And so he would do that. And as soon as he would get there, we'd get to this beautiful arch, and he wouldn't enjoy it at all. He wouldn't stop and think about it and think, wow, this is awesome. He was already thinking about the next place and just wanted to go. And I think we could do that somewhat with God's power, in that we're not stopping and thinking about how God is working his power. We're always just thinking about the next thing. And we're like, I don't feel very powerful. But if we were to stop and think and just look around, we would say, wow, God is working. Because part of it too is that sometimes we think of like God's power in my life is like explosions, just like all these huge things are going to happen. And that can, and it does. But I think God works in a lot of small ways that if we don't stop and think about it, we kind of skip over. Or God is working in ways that are his power that we can't see. We can't see the ramifications of protection. It could be lots of things. So that could be part of it. But the other way that I think is a major reason why we're not feeling or experiencing this power is how our youngest son interacted with the hike in a negative way. So he's a year and a half. I guess he's closer to 2 than a year and a half. But, he doesn't have very big legs at this point. He's still pretty new to walking. And he wanted to get up the stairs himself, or any kind of like rocks or stuff. You would try to grab his hand and be like, no, no. He would pull his hand away and not want anything to do with having help. And he was like face planting up these stairs. But he didn't want help. Just bam. Nope, I got this. Bam. No, I got this. And finally, you just have to grab hold of his hand and just kind of pull him up there, right? And he would put his feet down and he would feel like he's doing it, but he didn't want help. And I feel like we do that with God sometimes, where we're trying to do this all on our own. And God's holding out his hand with all his power saying, here, hold my hand. I'll help you. I'll carry you up. You just got to trust me. Hold my hand. And we're like, no, I've got this. Get away. And we might not think that we're actually doing that to God, but by our actions, we are. We're constantly worrying. We're just trying to grunt through it all. We're not talking to God about what needs to happen. We're not asking him for help. We're just trying to do it. And I think that's one of the reasons why we might not be experiencing this huge amount of power that's towards us, because we're not asking for it. We're not relying on it. Now, that being said, God doesn't need an invitation to give us his power and to do powerful things. He does do that. But it's amazing how it affects our behavior when I admit, God, I can't do this. But I know that you can. God, help me. I want to trust you in this. So instead of just banging my head against the problem until it fixes itself, to actually stop and say, God, I can't do this. Please help. It's amazing when that happens, how much more power, at least I feel. In the sense that God, it's almost like I'm holding his hand, and he's able to do these things because I am allowing him to, so to speak. God is bigger than us just holding on to things, so maybe allowing is not the right word, but it is amazing when I mentally admit I need your help, God, and ask for that help, how it makes a big difference in my life. So I encourage you today, especially if you're going through a hardship, that don't just keep on banging your head against the hardship. Don't just keep on face planting your way up the stairs and be like, I got this, but it's super painful and painful for everybody else. Grab hold of God's hand. God is holding out his hand with all this power and saying, grab my hand. I've got this. I'll let you feel like you're still walking, I'll let you keep on your feet on the ground like we did with Jack. But you gotta trust me. You gotta reach out and hold my hand. I encourage you to today, whatever that looks like and means in your life, to ask God to help you to do that and to talk to God about this, saying, God, I can't do this. And that's just the opposite of what we want to think, right? We think, oh, encouragement is saying I can do this. No, encouragement here is saying you can't do this, but God can. And all this power of the resurrection is towards you.